Hey, Planet Watchers, how are you doing? Okay, first of all, I'm sorry for postponing this IMA because to me, this is a very important moment in the project when I communicate with the community directly. I'm going to tell you the reason because you will probably find out anyway from my voice. The reason was that I'm recovering from COVID. So that is why I wasn't well 2 days ago. I couldn't do the AMA. So, as you know, Planet Watch is a project about health, public health, and the environment. So I want to share a personal note with you guys, which is this information and also a personal opinion. So this is Claudio speaking to you. It's just my personal advice. Please do bear in mind that COVID-19 is a very serious and very real threat to everybody's health, and that the best tools we have to protect ourselves at the moment are vaccines, masks, and indoor air quality management. All the rest is bullshit. Okay? That's the end of my personal opinion. So let's move on. Let's move on to PlanetWatch matters. Sorry, we have a few announcements and a few pieces of good news, I believe. So first things first. In terms of sensors, we had this quarter four batch for 2021. Now all remaining emails, purchase emails for 2021 batches, both for type 1 and type 3 sensors, will be out by January 10, by next Monday. You will then have 10 days to buy, so we stretched a little bit the 7-day rule to make it a bit easier. So we are, by and large, keeping the commitment to close Q4 batch by 10th of January, and I'm quite happy about it. And we anticipate that that shipping will take 10 more days. So at the end of the purchase period, we'll be ready to ship all the devices. As I said, we anticipate that device situation in 2022 will be much better. We'll be able to shorten waiting times. The other thing I want to share, I think last time I showed a picture of a new Type 2 device. In fact, there are two new Type 2 devices in the working, including another one which I did not show yet, which can connect to the Helium network, so which can leverage Helium network connectivity. And next week I'll be able, I believe, to share some pictures of this other device. So give you some more information. Not yet the pricing probably, because we are still negotiating on the price of some components, but just to give you the feeling that this is real and we are moving ahead. Let's come to type 4, which is obviously a sensitive issue, because the Awair Element device is not delivering all the results we want, because as you know, there are instances where the Awair cloud is not delivering to us all the data streams that we need to issue the rewards. Now, we've been discussing with some time with the Awair as a company. Again, as you know, I'm very honest and very straightforward. I'm not happy about the pace of these discussions. This has been going on for a little bit too long. However, by the end of next week, we should have some concrete proposal about an improved SLA. So please be patient and don't open reward-related tickets. We are working on this. We are not just ignoring and forgetting this issue, but we need a bit more time to find the best possible solution. And in the meantime, we are trying to mitigate the issue, obviously. But mitigating means making sure that you get as many rewards as possible. But on the other hand, we need to ensure that data quality is adequate for our purposes. So bear with us, but we are working on it. We're not just forgetting about it. Still talking about Type 4, as you know, we keep evaluating market opportunities and we keep assessing devices. There are a couple of additional sensors in the onboarding pipeline of PlanetWatch, but please don't trust rumors. I've heard people talking about specific devices which were on our onboarding pipeline. I can tell you, nobody's getting it right, so don't trust rumors. When we are ready, we will communicate which devices are going to be onboarded. Also, as you can imagine, I've been mentioning using Helium connectivity for one of our devices. Obviously, we have a roadmap of collaboration with the Helium network. One of the items that we are working on could be a combo device putting together a Helium miner. Yes, they use that word, we don't use it, and an air quality PlanetWatch sensor. So that's on the roadmap, but again, we don't have a time, an expected time for this yet, but we are also working on this. Now, so once again, 2022 looks very, very bright for PlanetWatch, and we just need time, a bit of time. And if you stick with us, I think you'll be happy to do it. So let me move to a very technical point, but somebody has raised it, so it's important to clarify this because it's potentially a very, very important point. There are a couple of blockchain functionalities called freeze and clawback, which are potentially a nuclear option with respect to the management of a project. Freeze means essentially the possibility to freeze tokens in one's account, so prevent any token transfer. Clawback is even more powerful. It's a possibility for PlanetWatch in particular to take back tokens from an account. Of course, these are horrible things in principle because, I mean, all the talk about the decentralization, there is no single center of power. So now you're telling me that you can do these nasty things. Now, the story is the following. So far, we have not removed these functionalities because of testing reasons and security reasons. So as of today, PlanetWatch in principle have control over the planets. And this is not ideal, this is not nice, and we have decided to remove this functionality as of next week. So as of next week, freeze and clawbacks will be disabled forever, which means that you have full control of your planets in your account. We cannot certainly freeze them or claw them back. So it sounds like a perfect world. Just bear in mind that everything in life has pros and cons. So the pro is that you are in full control of your planets. The cons is that if something nasty happens, if a bad actor steals planets from your account or from a pool, you know what happened with Tiny Man last week, then there is no force in the world which can do anything about it. So to be very explicit, if there was a theft of planets from a pool or even from a centralized platform, if you as a company have freeze and clawback, you can stop, you can kind of chase up the thieves and freeze their assets, the stolen assets, and possibly recover them. If you disable freeze and clawback permanently, as we're going to do, there's no way we can do anything. So if somebody steals something from you, it's your problem, which is coherent with the spirit of full decentralization. So we will further decentralize, and that's a major step next week. Just be extra careful of what you do with your planets, the platforms that you trust, because PlanetWatch will have no power at all in case of disputes or theft. Now, I have a list of questions and answers as usual, so I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. Once again, forgive me, this is a bit of a special AMA, it's a late AMA, and I wasn't able maybe to prepare it as well as I should have, but I've gone through a couple of tough days, believe me. And once again, I've had 3 vaccine shots, and still it wasn't nice. So I don't even want to think about what would have happened without vaccines. Okay, so back to questions. First question, did you see a big impact on New Year's Eve fireworks on air quality data? So broadly speaking, no, probably because the density of sensors in cities is not yet high enough to detect every firework event. So we didn't look for these correlations as such. Having said that, in the past, I think I discussed with you a specific city where we've been looking for correlations between this kind of between fireworks and air quality, and we did find a big increase in PM 2.5. So fireworks are bad for the environment, in particular for air quality. We didn't look for signatures of this event this year, but we know that the impact exists. There is a question of a person having issues because the sensor doesn't show in the wallet, and the person feels it's an app bug. Now, I checked this issue, the fact that sensors sometimes doesn't show up in the wallet. This is database issue, it's not an app issue. The bottom line is that because of the very fast increase in the number of sensors, we keep scaling up servers, and we need to scale them up further, and that will solve the issue. I think it's a matter of the database not getting updated fast enough. I think a final solution for this will take 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, that doesn't affect the rewards, it just affects the quality of your user experience. So we're working on it, and it could take up to a couple of more weeks. Next question. What's the latest news with air purifiers and purchasing them with planets? How many planets to stake in order to plant the trees? Again, these are overdue items, let's be clear. I think we'll be able to start to enable these interesting features, air purifier purchases and staking for the planet, by the end of Q1 2022. I would be dishonest if I told you by next week or by end of January, because we have so many things in the making that it's hard to commit to a short time scale. But these are important things, and by end of Q1, I believe we'll be ready to launch them. There is a person asking what happens if you don't manage to buy the sensor within the prescribed time window, 7 days, which in fact we stretched to 10 days now. If you miss the 10 days window for some good reason, open a ticket and we'll do our best to add you in the subsequent batch. But we have to be fair, obviously, so we cannot just let people keep their place indefinitely. So we have this batch system, we have this booking system by the licenses, and I mean exceptions for good reasons. We do our best to help you. Then there is a question of someone who is asking whether a specific device can be used in a specific country. Now, please refer to the information on the website. In case of doubt, you can open a ticket. But once again, the country restrictions for devices essentially come from information from manufacturers. So we keep asking them for updates, but it's not. It's a tricky area. But we're willing to help you if you are in a country and you want to know for sure whether you can use the device in your country. The same person is asking for information about delivery, about batch dates and estimated delivery time. So please refer to my previous IMA. We set up a web page on the website where you can check which batch you belong to. So that should help you. Then there are questions about the replacement of cartridges for Type 3 sensors. As I said, we'll discuss this when the time comes. It's a bit early to discuss this, but as you've seen several times, we never let you down, so we will take care of this kind of needs. Another very serious issue is a planet watcher from the state of New York who is pointing out that Tinyman had issues. Centralized exchanges where planets are listed are not don't cater for New York City residents. So, of course, that creates difficulties to procure planets and buy sensors from us. So, again, there is no easy way out of this, let's face it. So please open a ticket and mention that you are a New York resident will help. Did any new projects sign with PlanetWatch to buy the data we are streaming? So we are talking to a number of administrations, both in the US and in Europe. It's a bit too early to make announcement, but I can tell you that the level of interest is very high. But and foremost, as you know, we have to ensure that data quality is good. So we are doing business development on one hand, and we are about to release outdoor installation guidelines for sensors, and we'll ask everybody to comply with it because the two things are obviously related. A question about COVID-19. Any research or collaboration on the correlation with air quality and COVID-19 infection rates? So as I said several times, we have submitted a research proposal together with academic institutions about indoor air quality studies. We don't have a proposal or a research project on correlation between air quality and COVID-19 as such yet, but this could come. Last question that I see, how will we know if the data from our sensors gets sold? Now, very legitimate question and very delicate point. It's again about decentralization in a way. Because in an ideal world where everything is decentralized and everything is managed by the blockchain, the data sales process would happen directly by the blockchain. So all the data would be transparent and so on. We are not at the moment in that ideal world. So actually PlanetWatch, the company, is selling the data. So we manage the process, and we manage the process leading to additional rewards for people generating the data being sold. So you will know it from us for the time being, I'm afraid. So yeah, you need to trust us on that. We are looking into, in our technical roadmaps, there are measures to further decentralize, let me put it this way, all the processes, including data sales, but we are not yet there. Okay, I think these were the key points I wanted to touch upon today. Once again, we are growing fast. It's a bit of a bumpy ride, but that's the only way to grow fast. Just have to manage the bumpiness of the path against the growth rate. So lots of news coming up by the end of January in terms of sensors. I think we'll have some juicy news for you, and possibly some announcements about interest in additional collaborations. Please be patient with Awair Element. We are working on that together with Awair, the company. We need to improve the levels of service, which goes through an improved SLA with the company. And we are working on this. And I'll give you updates as soon as feasible on this. Please don't flood us with tickets, because otherwise, the more the tickets are submitted, the slower the response rate, unfortunately. So we are working on each and every ticket. But please only submit tickets on matters which have not been discussed in this AMA, for example. Okay. So thank you very much for your attention, and keep watching the planet. Stay safe and stay happy. Thank you.